Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming today. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to my dojo, aka my living room here in Los Angeles. I'm from Santa Monica, talking to you right now, actually, from Santa Monica, and hope you're well over there on the East Coast. Let's get started. Today, I want to talk to you about realtor safety, but in a slightly different way than you're probably used to. I know I've sat through a lot of realtor safety courses over the years, and you learn a ton of useful information. The information you're going to get today, like I said, is slightly different. We're going to get in your body, and I'm going to teach you actually how to defend yourself if you're ever in a vulnerable situation. Quick introduction. My name is Jennifer Cassetta. I'm a self-defense expert, third degree black belt in a martial art called Hapkido. And for the last 5-6 years, I've been on the speaking circuit all over the country, speaking to badass real estate professionals like yourself. I love speaking to you guys. I've met so many amazing, cool people over the years. You walk with confidence. You have an entrepreneurial mindset, and I just vibe with you guys so much. So, really quickly, why I got started in self-defense and why I think this is so important for real estate professionals, especially to learn, is I took a martial arts class basically in 2000, and immediately I was hooked. In that same year, 2 events happened in my life where I felt fear, intense fear, like never before. And I understood what I needed to do in this world. The first event was September 11th. We just had our 19th year anniversary. I almost died that day, 3 blocks south of the World Trade Center. It's a story for another day, but basically I felt intense paralyzation of fear, thought I was going to die. I made it out alive, and finally I made it to my martial arts school that day. There I felt safe, and that became a metaphor for my life. I started training and showing up to that mat every single day because I was becoming stronger in my body, physically getting stronger, mentally getting stronger, feeling more confident, and spiritually feeling more grounded. I knew that I wanted to share this with as many people as possible. Later in that year, I got attacked on the street. A man came up behind me, and next thing I know, he was grabbing me, and this time I was able to fight him off, not with the fancy Hapkido techniques that I was learning, but with my attitude and with my mindset. And that's what we're going to talk about going forward. In that same year, I learned a lot. So I learned what it felt like to feel fear in my body and move through it. I learned how to process that fear. And I also learned that 1 in 5 women in the US will be the victim of some kind of sexual assault. When we team up with our sisters globally, that number is much worse. 1 in 3 women globally will be the victim of some kind of sexual violence, according to the World Health Organization. Those numbers are devastating. And again, that's why I'm here to help you. If I can just help one woman or man, this is not just a woman problem, especially in real estate. There's other crimes that you can be a victim to, like robbery and theft. So we're going to be talking about safety in general, personal safety in general, to keep you safe from all the things. But let's break it down for realtors. Like I said, 1 in 5 women in the US will be a victim of sexual assault. Well, 67% of realtors, licensed realtors, are actually women, female. With a total of 1.3 million total licensed realtors in the US, that makes 910,000 of you guys women. With the 1 in 5 statistic, that leaves 182,000 female realtors a potential victim of assault. Not on my watch, and not on yours either. Because what I ask is anything that you learn today, that you teach one other person at least. That way we spread the message of safety so every realtor can feel safe and confident and strong from the streets to the open house. So this doesn't have to be scary, and it's not my intention to fearmonger. My intention is to actually empower you, because I feel that self-defense is the most empowering thing that anyone can learn. So after this short class of yours, I highly encourage you to get out there and keep training. I have a self-defense course that I can tell you about at the end. and I'll even give you some special discount for you guys in the comments below. Okay, so let's get started. First, before we get to the physicality of the self-defense, self-defense starts with a mindset. That's why I have the ABCs of self-defense. And I'm just going to touch on them because you probably have heard a lot of these things before in your other safety courses, because safety starts with a mindset. A, B, C, D. Awareness, boundaries, communication, and then D is your de-escalation or defense. And that's the one we're going to spend the most time on in this session. But quickly, A, awareness. It's the cornerstone of personal safety and self-defense. It's going to help you avoid danger at all costs and when possible. So I like to talk about having a detective mindset, adopting a detective mindset. My father was a New York City detective up until pretty much I was born. But then for the 40 plus years that I still had him as my dad, he never dropped that mindset. Once a detective, always a detective. I'm sure if you can relate, I'm sure you can relate if you know anyone out there that has ever served in law enforcement. What do detectives do? They're constantly observing and they're asking a lot of questions. Now that's not fun for a young girl growing up and trying to go on dates and do all that stuff, but it is really important. I started to feel the benefits and see the benefits when I went to college for the first time in the Bronx, and my father came to check out the dorm rooms, and he was checking out the exits and the windows and the fire escapes and making sure that everything was secure, the boundaries were secure. So I want you to think of a detective mindset anytime you step into a property, anytime you meet with a stranger. Observe, scan for red flags, ask yourself a lot of questions, ask your potential client lots of questions as well. One, it builds rapport, but two, you really get to feel a person's energy. Are they open? Are they willing to answer all your questions? Are they closed off? Are they shady? Are they sketchy? Is something, right? And then the third thing is tap into your intuition, right? Your gut will always tell you if something is off. When you're scanning for red flags, you're going to get either a feeling in your gut. Some people get a voice in their head. Some people have told me stories of actually seeing words or a video play out in their mind. I had a realtor stand up in a course I was giving 2 years ago at a national conference and tell a story of how she got a call to go show a property to a potential client, and something told her that it wasn't right. There was something off, but the idea of a potential sale made her override her gut feelings, and she showed up and wound up getting sexually assaulted. That story moved me so much. We were all shocked and moved to tears in that room that day because we were the first people she was even telling about that story. But it's just the most perfect example of how so many of us get gut feelings, have intuition, and override them anyway. So the advice being, just check it out. Could your gut be off? Could your intuition maybe be wrong? Possibly, but it's worth that extra step to take the time, do the investigation, right? Do the background check like a detective would. Okay, B stands for boundaries. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat because I will check them out. B stands for boundaries, and boundaries is just thinking about your body in spaces, right? Spatial awareness. So if you're stepping into a property for the first time, I want you to be, again, with your detective mindset, now checking out the entrances and exits, doors, windows, any other boundaries that people can get in or out of. Make sure they're secure, make sure you know where they all are. Just 2 weeks ago, I had another realtor tell me that she was showing us a house, and there was a mom with a teenage son, and this teenage son was downstairs looking around, and sure enough was leaving the windows open so either him or his friends could come later on. All right, so check out your boundaries. C stands for communication, powerful communication. 3 things must be aligned. body language or physiology, the tone of your voice, and vocabulary. In a safety situation, vocabulary means the least, and your physicality, your body language, how you walk, how you move through a space is going to communicate to somebody else. It's nonverbal communication. It's going to communicate if you're feeling confident or you're distracted. So phones away, everything away. Crossbody bag is one of my biggest tips for you guys. So you have your hands free at all times. Communicate with your body language, alert and aware. Shoulders back, head held high, and make contact with every single person in your periphery. The tone of voice you use is important as well. When you need to command somebody to back up, get out of your space, you have to go low. Get into your stomach from here. Voice comes from here, not from here. This is where we get nervous and lose our voice. That's C. Let's get right into D, because again, I want you to get into your bodies and really feel what some self-defense feels like. D stands for de-escalate or defend. In martial arts, the way of martial arts is always to avoid the fight when possible. Sometimes you're doing all the right things. You're practicing your awareness. You know where the boundaries are. You know your body and space. You're communicating powerfully, but there's some creep out there that's going to overstep your boundaries, and that's where we are. So number one is, can you de-escalate the situation? That would be amazing. Everyone just put your hands up like this, right? What this means is if somebody is coming at you or causing a fuss, causing a stir, getting angry, can you take that person from a level 10 of heightened anxiety and anger and feeling to a 9, 8, 7, right? In order to just give yourself time to get away from the situation as fast as possible. So hands go up. What does this mean? It sort of means like, hey, look at my hands. I'm not carrying a weapon. I'm safe. It means kind of I surrender, but you're not surrendering, right? It's, hey, buddy, what's your name? Oh, John. I got it, John. Connect with the person a little bit. John, I hear what you're saying. I understand why you're upset. We're going to work this out. Again, sometimes this tactic can work, other times not. If you are in the thick of it, someone has crossed your boundaries and attacking your body, here's where the self-defense comes in. First few things that you need to learn are the weapons on your body, how to use them, and where to strike. So that's what we're going to do. So everyone, if you can see me, I'm going to step further back a little bit so you can see more of my body. I know this setup isn't exactly perfect, but we're working with it. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what your strength, your gender, any of it. I truly believe that every single person has the ability to protect themselves, starting with your attitude. So attitude of a warrior, she warrior if you identify with that pronoun, and protecting yourself with all you got. Attitude first. First, you need to know the weapons on your body. We're going to start from the head down. You have your mouth to yell, to scream, to bite if you need to. You have your hands, fingers, thumbs. I'll explain all of that in a second. We have elbows, we have knees, and we have feet, right? No high kicks, nothing fancy. So, next thing, you need to know the 3 most effective targets on your attacker. Eyes, throat, groin. Say it with me. Say it loud and proud. Eyes, throat, groin. So your body remembers it when you need it. Eyes. If you were to get poked in the eyes with just fingers, right? Just fingers or a thumb into the eye or a scratch into the eyeball, what do you think would happen? Well, for one, person probably won't see, eyes will get blurry, tears will come, but also head will fly backwards, perhaps loosening up a grip, but opening up that second target, throat, right? If someone were to get punched in the throat, into the trachea, again, what do you think would happen? At least disruption in the breath, in the breathing. On the side of the neck is the carotid artery, runs up and down the side of your neck. It delivers blood and oxygen to the brain. If that were to be hit on the side of the neck with an open hand, a fist, a cell phone in your hand, right? That could at least disrupt that blood flow and drop someone to their knees. Again, this is going to take practice. And then last but not least, we have groin, knee to the groin, which we're going to practice in a little bit. Okay, so everyone stand up where you are. We're going to get into a fighting position, and all that means is you take one walking step, normal walking step, not too long, just right, slight bend in the knees. Then, if you haven't ever made a fist, right, mostly women are not taught this as kids. So roll your fingers down like I'm doing, then thumb comes across. Now take it in front of you like this, and from your knuckles to your elbow should be a straight line. No bend in your wrist in case you have to make impact, right? And everyone do this with your hand, that's your target. First two knuckles is your surface of impact. Got that? So we're coming in, and the thing with punching is we're only punching soft targets. So back to eyes, throat, groin, what do those three things have in common? They're all soft targets. So we're not going to hurt ourselves by being inexperienced and throwing a punch at something hard, right? Anything soft is doable. Okay, so we have eyes, throat, groin. Now, get into your fighting stance. So we made a fist, we're here. And we're just going to practice nice and easy with 5 just kind of jabs straight out, fingers to the eyes. That's all you're going to do for 5. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, grab the side of the head and stick a thumb in the eye. You got it. Okay. Now, usually we practice both sides when we're doing a class. I'm just going to do one side, so it doesn't matter if you're righty or lefty. Do what feels good. Next, we're going to punch straight into the throat for 5. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Next, we're going to throw some elbows. Okay? Elbows are just going to help you get out of grabs and holds. Right? Grabs and holds. And these elbow strikes are coming to the face and the head. So first, you're going to take one of your elbows and go straight up like this. Here's your striking surface. You're coming up, hitting somebody upside the head. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, your second elbow is going to come across the body, across the head. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Next, grab your attacker is on you. Great. You're going to grab them back, pull their body, and you're going to drive your knee straight forward into the groin. Got it? Forward, not up and down like kickboxing. Forward. Ready? Grab a hold. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got it. Stomp that foot, right? Good. Next, we had one more elbow back behind you. Someone grabs you from behind, you can drop an elbow straight back into their gut, into their groin, or whatever the height difference is going to be. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got it. Okay, those are your basics. Let's do a couple combinations. Want to see how I'm doing on time? Fantastic. Any questions, put them in there. I'm going to talk about non-lethal weapons next. Let's just do a couple combinations, okay? Get back into your fighting stance, and we're going to go eyes, throat for 5. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Feel it in your body. 4, 5. Good. Next, we're going to go throat, groin with the knee. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Next, we're going to go up elbow strike, cross elbow strike for 5. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Next, we're going to go. Someone's grabbing you from behind. You're going to go elbow strike, stomp, hit to the groin. Ready? And just do that 1 or 2 times. Ready? We're going to go elbow strike, stomp on the foot, strike to the groin. One more time. Picture it, someone's on you. So you drop and elbow strike, stomp on the foot, hit to the groin. Okay, lots more where that comes from in my She Warrior Self-Defense online training that you can train literally from your living room. It's important to practice, practice, practice to really embody the movements. It's one thing to see it once. It's a whole other ball game when you're practicing over and over. Okay, last but not least, non-lethal weapons to have on you when you're working. 2 major ones that I highly recommend. Well, first of all, for mindset, I highly recommend this book, The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker. If you haven't read this yet, it is a must as far as mindset, safety, thinking out of the box when it comes to finding yourself in a dangerous situation. Very, very important. The gift of fear is that intuitive feeling. Thanks, Marianne. 2 more things. We have Invisiwear jewelry. This is a keychain of theirs that I love. You can see that. But they have necklaces, scrunchies, all kinds of things. And basically what this does is it's connected to your phone and your GPS. If you ever find yourself in a dangerous situation, you double click in this case, this keychain, this one. Sometimes it's a necklace, like I said. It can either call your emergency contacts to let them know you're in a dangerous situation, or bypass that and call 911. Again, I can get you a discount code for that if you're interested. I think it's so important, and they're cute. You can never tell that they're safety jewelry. And then other non-lethal weapons to have would be alarms, right? That's not a loud alarm, but I have Sabre makes personal alarms that you can click on your purse, inside your purse, and it'll sound an alarm 300 feet away. What that does is, one, criminals don't want to be caught, right? So it'll sound the alarm and hopefully alert bystanders, and also hopefully deter criminals. And then last but not least, pepper spray. If you don't have one, I do highly recommend them. Super easy to use. Just what I think there is usually a block. Like, I've heard lots of people say, oh, I have the pepper sprays, but I don't use them. And I don't know how to use them. So really important. They do sell water practice sprays, which I recommend. Get some of those, practice. They all have a safety latch, so you're not going to like accidentally spray yourself. You really have to learn how to just move the latch, spray when you're keeping somebody at distance, at bay. This is what it's great for. You can be up to 10 feet away and spray somebody, and you just aim ear to ear. The spray will hit. Capsaicin, the pepper spray, will then disrupt breathing and eyesight, and you can hopefully have that space and time to get away. All of this training is to help you get away, right, as fast as you can. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat right now. I'd love to answer them. I have Raquel, whose father is a retired police officer, so you get it. You grew up learning the awareness mindset, playing out what-if scenarios. Yes, I love that. I did all my martial arts training in New York City, so I would be on the subway and I would just play out these scenes. What if that happened? What would I do if this guy did this, right? And that's what you can do in a house or any properties that you're going to look at or see. Just play those scenarios out. Again, it's not being paranoid, it's being empowered. It's really important just to know what your body's capable of. The Gift of Fear is right there, so if anyone has that, code and website, I'll put that in the chat for Invisiwear. And then just to reiterate, She Warrior Self-Defense online program, if you just Google it, you'll find it. I have a code for you that gives you $20 off. It's Realtor 20. And it's also on my website, jennifercassetta.com. Hang out with me, go there. There's a free confidence course if you just need some mindset tools to boost your confidence. We could all use some of that during this time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, everyone, for having me. Again, if you have any questions, I'll be checking back for the rest of the day to help answer any questions that you have. Thank you again. Bye.